Musicality Mondays, Litty Mondays, Litty Mondays. With Jazicality Mondays, Litty Mondays, Litty Mondays. I know you were looking for something, maybe you'll find it right here, baby.
A Make Your Own Trophy Records production. Hi everyone, welcome back to Musicality Mondays. I'm your host, Jazicality, and thank you so much for watching on the podcast platforms. Thank you for watching if you're right here on the YouTube channel. Recently, I have made hoodies for this show, so go check them out. They're going to be down below in the description, and I'd love it if you check it out. There's one version with flowers and another version without, so pick the one you want. But today, we have a very special guest. He is a producer. He's a musician. He plays multiple different instruments. We have David Smith, everyone.
Hello, thank you for having me. This is a really dope opportunity. I love what you're doing with this platform.
Thank you.
Just giving a lot of local musicians the chance to be able to use their voice off the stage and just get the chance for the general public to get to know people performing, to see who they are as people. So I really love what you're doing with this platform.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love everything that you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
You're touring in London.
Yeah.
You're always surrounded by music, which I think is very beautiful. And you're you're bringing the Minneapolis sound to other places. That's really cool.
Definitely. Have to.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do it,
It's true. Somebody got to do that.
Somebody has to do it.
So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with your tour? Do you want to start with...
Start wherever you want. Yeah,
okay.
I'm cool with whatever.
Let's start with Wait! Where'd you start? Where'd you get your start in music?
That's a great question. So, I got my start in music from my family.
Okay.
So my brother is a drummer. His name is Brian. He's a drummer, and he was my first drum instructor.
Wow.
When we were children. So he learned when he was like 2. So then when I came along, he's about 3 years, 2.5, 3 years older than I am.
Okay.
And so when I came along, eventually I was around 3 or so. He was showing me how to play the drums, and it was really fun. I learned it so early, I don't even remember learning. I just only remember knowing how to play.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty unique in a sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, as the years went on, eventually at our church, we would open every Sunday with a small devotional service, and either one of us would play the drums. And so eventually we would start fighting over who gets to play the drums and whatever. My mom was like, well, why don't you learn the piano so you guys can both play together?
Oh, wow.
And so my mom had taken a piano class in college years ago, and she was able to teach me the knowledge that she knows, and I just kind of took those small little things and I ran with it.
Yeah.
And because we had a upright piano at the house at the time.
Oh.
And let me think, what else? So yeah, that's kind of how I got my start. I had a couple different teachers until we were introduced to Mr. William Duncan over at Walker West.
Wait, so do you know Eli?
Yeah.
Were you guys in the same class or like...
No, so it was just like individual lessons.
Okay.
So I think we were taking lessons at different times, because I did mine. I started my lessons when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
And because there's not really a lot of people in town that can teach the organ, because I wanted to learn the organ, right? So when you're growing up in church, you see people playing the organ and everything. It's like, whoa, I want to do that.
Yes.
Super cool, right? And so I wanted to learn the organ. So there was a guy that came to our church that was from Detroit, which is where Duncan is from.
Okay.
And he was like, oh yeah, we have somebody that could teach your songs. He was talking to my mom. And then she's like, oh, okay, great. We went to Walker West. I heard him play, and I was like, that's how I want to sound.
Wow.
So I spent how many years? 8? 9? I can't do math. But it was from the time I was about 9 to 17.
Okay.
So 8 years. Yeah, that's correct.
This is freaking. Have
That's
you
correct,
watched
yeah.
the show before?
I've watched the clips. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
because I'm telling you guys, every time math gets brought up, and
Oh,
it's like a
man.
thing on the show, and it's just, it boggles my mind. But one of the other guests was just like, well, like music and math are like,
Oh, that's another thing.
they like go together. Yeah, go ahead.
That's another thing. Like I love fractions and
Oh my God.
percentages. And,
Can
and
you
stuff.
teach me? I have no idea how to use fractions.
I don't know. It's like a I kind of use like a reference for everything. So like for
Oh, wow.
example, for like Fahrenheit and Celsius,
Oh my God.
right? I know like a couple key points.
Okay, wow.
So, for example, when I was in Canada not long ago,
Okay.
for my friend's wedding,
Oh, cute.
and also for a church conference in
Yeah.
April, two separate things. And I remember being there. They would talk about the temperature in Celsius.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I know that the 30s
Mm-hmm.
is like around where 90 is,
Okay.
and I know 0 is 32 in Fahrenheit. So I'm able to kind of sometimes figure out or like estimate
Yeah.
where it's at, just kind of based off of those numbers and percentages or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the story.
Like, I wish I was
Um,
smart. No, I'm kidding.
You're smart
Thank
enough
you.
to do this.
Thank
shoot,
you,
that's-
David.
Yeah, nobody that's no. There are definitely people that are stupid that start podcasts.
Oh my
So,
God. But
we-
he
we-
said
we've
I'm
seen
not
that.
one of
You're not
them.
one of those people. Disclaimer.
Thank you so
definitely
much.
not.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And then yeah, so let me think. Yeah, so then I
Yeah.
started taking lessons with Duncan. Around that time, 17, it was like my senior year. I remember Darnell Davis messaged me along with some other friends of mine, Keenan Friday, Jalen Spencer,
Okay.
and
okay.
David Jones. He reached out to all of us
Yeah.
to say, hey, I want to start, bringing you guys in, just one night a week and just teaching you guys what I know.
Yeah.
And that was probably that was definitely another turning point in my musical knowledge,
Yeah.
because he really taught us how to play in a band. Because it's
Wow.
one thing to be a really great musician individually, but it's another thing to know how to play in a band, especially in like a church setting too. Because
Absolutely.
there's a lot that's happening like in the music already. So
Yeah.
it's like you have to figure out how to just kind of be under control and know
Yes.
how to play your role and know how to play with others and sound like one instrument as opposed to five. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was wonderful. And then around this time I was really starting to get somewhat decent at producing music, as well as getting into live arrangements.
Okay.
I was really inspired by all the have you ever heard of this thing called Strange Arrange?
No.
So basically it was this competition that started I think in the early 2010s. Yeah, maybe a little sooner, but around that time period, where you would have different bands come together and they would create like live band remixes, arrangements of like popular songs. They string them all together. There's a whole lot of different bands that came out of that, and I remember just like watching those videos and just be like, man, I want to do that. Or like people would make live arrangements to songs and put them on YouTube, and I was like, man, I want to do that. And so I remember putting out my first live arrangement. It's still on my YouTube page when I was like 16, 17 years old, and now I get to do that as a part of my career.
That's amazing.
So that's really cool. But yeah, I was really inspired by that. So like around this time I was kind of dabbling in production and live arrangements. And college comes around, and I was a freshman at the University of Minnesota.
Congratulations.
And thank
about
you.
your graduation, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And I remember just making songs all the time, making beats. Like people would be out at parties and everything. I would just kind of stay inside and just kind of make music. One, because I'm not really a party guy.
Okay.
Like I would, if anything, like I would just, if I was to go, I would just end up standing in the corner anyway because I'm a terrible dancer or whatever. So no, don't. I'm a terrible dancer. I'm not good.
Do you like
But-
animals?
Do I like animals?
Yeah.
I love animals.
So, like, would you, if there was a cat at the party, would you, pet the cat?
Oh yeah, totally.
Because that would be lit.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be super
yeah.
fun. If there's like a dog or something, shoot,
Yeah.
I'll hang with the dog the whole time, but I won't be dancing around.
So you won't just bust a
exactly.
move?
Yeah, no, that's not It's very rare. It's very
Okay.
rare. I've been trying to a little bit on stage. I've been trying to get better with
There you go.
stage presence. Just move a little bit.
I love that for
But
you.
that's about as far as I can get as far as dancing goes. But I would just kind of stay inside, just stay up making music and just trying to work on my craft and get better. Then the pandemic hits.
You're saying it like that. That's funny.
Oh, but you know what? Even before that, another big part of my career that I've done is made drumless practice tracks for drummers to play to.
Really?
So
That's cool.
yeah, so that's because being a drummer, you're always trying to find different things to practice and different ways to improve your craft. And one of those ways was to practice the tracks online, find them on YouTube, and just play to them all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to start just creating my own because maybe some of the tracks were cut short on YouTube, or maybe you'd hear a drummer playing to a track in a video and you can never find it or whatever. And so I was like, man, I should just start making my own. And then eventually, I'm trying to remember if it was that summer. I think it was the summer after I graduated high school. I did like I called it the DSP Drum Challenge. D Smith Productions is what that stands for. It's in my logo and everything. And then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I did the drum challenge. I started gaining some more followers and whatnot. And I remember that was really cool. That grew into what I do now with this company called Shed Tracks, where they sell drumless play along tracks for drummers to play to, and my tracks have been covered by like some of the greatest drummers in the world. It's crazy. Like Teddy Campbell recently posted a cover to Fireflies.
Yes.
Which,
Stream on all platforms.
Yeah, it's out with Big Homie. We'll probably get to that story later.
Yeah.
And Beyonce's current drummer, Diamond Johnson. That's what it is. Diamond Johnson. He covered one of my short tracks, a couple years before he went on that tour. But yeah, there's so many. Eric Moore. That's part of the reason Fireflies was created.
Really?
Because during the pandemic, he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I want you to make me some drumless tracks. So I was just making him like a bunch of tracks every month and sending it to him so he could just practice or do whatever to make covers. And that's how Fireflies came to be, because it was a part of that. I had to make tracks all the time.
Yeah.
So,
I think I remember you talking about that. That's really cool to like hear it all in context,
Right. Yeah. So that's how that song was born, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. But.
And how did you decide to put that on the Big Homie album?
Yeah. So, because LA originally covered that track when I first when did I put it out? Through Shed Tracks. I put it out through Shed Tracks in 2020. That's 2021. And LA covered it, and I was like, yo, this is a really dope cover, or whatever I said.
Yeah.
But then eventually, when Jacob Dodd moved, the original keyboardist and Big Homie, when he moved, LA called me to play keys. I was scared. I was like,
oh my God.
No way, because like I was playing aux for a little bit.
Okay.
And then then Jacob moved, and then it's like, okay, I guess it's up to me now. I'm like,
so
all
for you to
scared.
step up, little homie.
Jacob Dodd is insane.
Wow.
Super jazzy. Does a bunch of super dope classical stuff.
People say that about you, that you're so incredible. Like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, I don't know if I could do what he does,
Oh man,
I'm hearing stuff about you.
No, I think I just do a really good job of branding myself and everything. Like there's a lot of people that are way more skilled than I am. I just have the opportunity to I think my thing is I just do a lot of things. So like I don't only play the piano, I also play the organ, I play the drums, I can produce, I can also arrange for your show, I can make you a live drumless track, I can mix your song, I can whatever. So like I just do a lot of things pretty decently well. I think that's my thing. Yeah. I just do a lot of things.
But yeah, I mean,
piano, I would say is my main thing. Piano and organ.
I was literally gonna ask that. That's good to know, because I mean that's kind of what I figured. Because I feel for the most part, that's what I see you do most.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There was one time, I didn't know that you played all the instruments. So I was like learning, along with everyone else. And I was like, oh my God. And then I just saw one of your videos. I was like looking through your Instagram and just like, you did a video where you were playing everything. I was like, I knew it, but like, damn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that happens, because I remember guitarist Devo, left-handed dude, super cool. He was like, every time I see him, he's like, man, I'm upset at you. You're just out here playing all these instruments, man. It's really funny. But yeah, I love it. Like I started the bass when I was in high school. I asked for a bass for my birthday, and just gone from there. So,
do you have an instrument that you like playing most and one that you like playing least?
Ooh.
Yay!
I'll say this. There's not really one that I like playing the least.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I just might forget to play it, right?
But
I think as far as enjoyability, I like playing drums the most.
I figured that. Drums are fun. Cool.
Like,
yeah, they are fun. Yeah.
Drums are my passion project.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, drums are like my hobby, essentially.
Okay.
Like I don't really take drum gigs unless it's like a church thing. Like I play at the night services at this church called Serenity Village. They're in Crystal. This is where this hoodie is from.
There you go.
Yeah, and then but like that's about it. I just kind of do drums as a hobby.
Okay.
But piano, organ, and then are pretty much my main. Or aux auxiliary keys are my main thing.
Okay.
And then I'll do bass gigs here and there. But as far as what I play the least, probably guitar. I don't.
That's right.
I don't
I've heard
really
about the
play the guitar.
Okay.
I know enough to get an idea down, but it's gonna take me a lot longer than a seasoned guitarist would take, because it's gonna take me 10 takes to do what somebody else could do in like one take.
You're like, I got you. Just get.
Yeah,
I got you. Just. I love that. Who are some of the musicians, whether it's in the cities or just in general, that you look up to?
I think a lot of the musicians I mainly look up to are people from the cities, because I wasn't like a super huge DVDs or YouTube head person.
Oh, wow.
So it's like I feel like a lot of the people I drew inspiration from the most are the people that I would see with my own eyes. So like those people would be like of course Duncan, Darnell Davis, Adrian Davis, definitely them. I feel like I'm gonna leave out so many people
because I'm putting you on the spot.
Like for the people that first come to mind, it's definitely them. Of course, definitely the people playing at my church growing up. All the knowledge they've instilled in me over the years as well. Also, Adrio, rest in peace, and who else? Oh, Julian Roberts, definitely. I met LA through him.
Wow.
Of course, LA, duh. Yeah, man, there's so many. Yeah, 'cause now I'm thinking about like all the drummers that I've watched, like Demetrius Holmes.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm leaving out so many names. I apologize to everybody in advance. It's
You're
probably,
like, please, I love you.
Exactly.
Don't even.
There's so many names. I'm just blanking out right now.
I see them, but I can't read them. But I can see.
Exactly. But yeah, it's all in my head. But there's so many incredible musicians here that I just love to hear. Just play, and like it's amazing. Like we have the best musicians in the world. I don't care what anybody says.
I think that too. And
people just sleep on the musicians that come out of here all the time.
They really do.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I grew up in Chicago. I didn't really hear Minnesota be an option for musicians, but you come here and you see it, and it's just like, oh, I didn't hear about this.
Right.
Well, you heard about Prince, but like that's pretty much it. Like
exactly.
I can't really remember anyone else. Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me more. Just give me like two more.
Two more
greats that came out that I probably would have heard in a different state.
Oh, like two more like greats. Oh, Mint Condition. You got Stokely.
Oh. See, because I've heard of Mint Condition, but you just never hear that they're from Minnesota. It's just like, what the heck?
Yep, Stokely, and then of course, I just had it and it left my mind.
There's too much going on.
Oh man, I'm trying to think who's somebody recent from
That's a
here.
good question.
Libyanka recently.
Libyanka.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look them up.
Afrobeat artist.
'Cause-
She's
okay,
super dope.
Afrobeat.
She came out with that song called People, and it just went like super viral.
There you go.
A couple years ago. There's got to be one more. Of course, you have Sounds of Blackness with
Yes.
Optimistic, and
Okay.
Nesby, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis.
Well, yes, but
Yeah.
yes, of course.
Yeah. The Time.
Oh, really?
Time, yeah.
Morris Day and the Time?
Yeah, Morris Day and the
Wow.
Time. Yeah.
You see? And
now
you
it's,
just
now it's
it's
starting.
crazy.
It's starting to-
The wheels are turning, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it usually does take some time because it's just like, oh my god,
Right.
Yeah. Like even when you're not being recorded, it's hard to just be like, oh yeah.
Exactly.
So I wanna since we're talking about celebrities and all that, I'm gonna talk about this first. I saw the Giveon video that you did.
Oh,
when
yeah.
his
Yes.
his microphone. When did you see it? How'd you know you wanted to make the video?
Yeah. I saw that video and I was like, oh, I know exactly what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, I was like, this would make a great video because I'm a marketing major.
Oh my god.
That's what I got my degree
Did
in.
not
So
know
I was
that.
like, oh, I should make a video off of this, and I think it'll do really well because it's like, okay, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
It also provides some insight into what's going on, right? So, so I made that video about his mic, and I said, oh hey, he's using auto-tune,
Yep.
right? People, of course, okay, whatever opinions people have about auto-tune, I really could care less for the sake of that video. Okay.
No, honestly.
I was like, he shouldn't have been using it anyway. So what? That's what
It's
he's
like,
doing.
It's fun.
Yeah,
sounds
autotune's
cool.
Yeah, like that's what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people that are great singers,
Mhm.
but they're using auto-tune. Like it's a part of the sound.
It
You
sounds
know,
so cool.
For me, it depends on the type of song it is. There's some
Yeah.
songs that might require more of it. There's some songs that might require something more like melodyne. Like not even just because of the person singing it, just
Yep.
because, but more so because of the the overall sonic quality of that song and how music has evolved over the years. Like there's a certain
Yeah.
sound that people from either my generation or other generations are looking to hear that's clearly popular music.
Yeah.
That's why it's called pop music, pop,
Yep.
rap, wherever. Like Travis Scott wouldn't be doing what he's doing without auto-tune.
Very true.
Like it's a part of his sound. But anyway, so with Giveon,
The way that you bring it back, I love that. I wish I had that. Oh my god, because I will go off and never come back.
right. Yeah.
Except on the show, of course.
I've been working on that. Just
Oh,
being
good.
able
Yeah.
to bring it back. Bring it back. Yeah. And so auto-tune opinions aside, in this case he was using live auto-tune, and what happened was
Okay.
the auto-tune was programmed, or some glitch happened, or whatever happened was whatever happened in the program is that all I know is that the auto-tune switched keys too soon.
Right. Okay.
So
That's right. Oh my gosh.
because I noticed that he's saying, like, I have perfect pitch, right? So I noticed he's saying,
Is that why you're working with Colin Johnson? I'm sorry.
we'll get to that. We'll get to him later, right? So
Yeah. It changed
what was I
keys
saying?
and
it changed the keys to the next song too early, and so it just completely messed up, and that's why he's like looking at his.
It makes so
his
much sense.
His in-ears, his earpiece, as the non-musicians.
He's like,
love
"It
to
ain't
call
me."
them, his earpiece. Right, so he's looking at his in-ears.
Okay.
He's like, what's going on? He's still singing.
Okay.
Because I feel like if there's something wrong with your mix, usually in those situations, you just kind of roll with it and keep going, especially if it's like a live TV thing. If it's a concert, he might be like, hey, I need more of myself in my mix, right?
Yeah.
But it's TV. Like, you can't just stop
He's
in
like,
the middle
"Oh,
and
shit."
do something like that. That's why in
Yeah.
that moment, he just kind of took it out and was like, hey, I'm not hearing in my ears what I'm hearing out of my mouth,
Wow.
right? So that's my theory of what he was thinking. And
Theory.
so, because people were like, "Oh no, there was something wrong with his ears." It's like, no. He would have reacted completely different if it was something just wrong with his ears, or he wouldn't have reacted at all.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But yeah, there's a lot of people online. There's like, "No, he's just a bad singer." I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
God,
okay,
I hate that.
there's a difference between a technical difficulty and just singing wrong. Because if he was just singing wrong, he would have had his ear still in and singing loud and wrong. Right?
Just not knowing. Yeah, you're right.
We've seen that happen, like during like national anthems and stuff. The Fergie national anthem, shoot, she sounded terrible. But you know what? She sang confidently and off.
It was
this situation. He was like, he's off, not because of his own voice, you know. But then again, it's like, hey, everybody's human. Like even to a concert I went to, there was a couple parts where he might have like missed a note. And it's like, okay, you know, he's human. It's, you know, whatever. But that wasn't one of those moments. It's like, okay, this is a fail of technology. So. But yeah, there's a lot of people debating me online about that.
Oh my God.
Like, you're
just
wrong.
Like, no.
But it's like, you know what? It's not really worth it. I thought about making another video and just being like, you know, because every now and then it'll. So the funny thing is whenever that video gets reposted, you know how TikTok has a little search bar thing?
Yeah.
My video is always the first one.
I
to pop
love
up
that.
in the search bar. So the videos just slowly go up over time. So that's pretty cool.
And I see the amount of views and I'm just like, that's incredible, bro. Yeah. You did that.
Thanks. It was one of those videos that I knew would do really well.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
And it goes perfectly well with what I just remembered that, the first time I heard about you was on Radio K, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And LA was like talking about you and he said that don't tell me, they said it wrong and I wanted to, oh my God, I can't remember either way. Producer extraordinaire, but he said, what did he say? Do you remember what he said?
I do not remember. Producer extraordinaire is one of the things he says. So.
And I love when he said that. It's so sweet. I'm just like, I got to check this guy out. So shout out to you, LA, for hyping up David. And he goes like, that's cold. I love that interview. But yeah. So when he says that kind of thing, like, how does it make you feel? Like, does like,
you know, I feel really honored because he was one of the guys that I looked up to. Yeah. You know, being, you know, just a church musician. You know, like I'll never forget the first time we met was at the church he was attending at the time that he still plays drums at, Shiloh, over north. And our churches are in the same organization, and we meet up about twice a year for like a conference where like all the other churches in our region kind of get together, have a couple church services, right? And so, you know, it was always a dream of mine when I was a kid to like play at this big thing. You know, there's all these people here. It's at Shiloh. It's like, oh my gosh, we're at the big church, whatever, right? And so I remember, you know, just like meeting him and like being around the drums and just watching him play and be like, I didn't know you could do this stuff on a drum set, you know? So it's just like going from that to like now it's like is really amazing. I think about it all the time. It's like, wow. Like I remember when I still look up to him, but like it's like when I was about 14 when I met him. So I've known him for like 10 years now.
Oh my
I think
God.
about it. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it really feels like it's really an honor to be in the same band that he's in, because I never, there was a point where I never even imagined myself being in a band in the first place. Yeah.
Why was that?
I don't know. Like I feel like I can be pretty independent sometimes. I like to, you know what I'm doing and whatever. I don't like to always have to depend on others.
Yeah.
But I think this opportunity was just like, okay, this is something I really want to do, just because I trust LA's judgment on a lot of things. And I was just like, all right, you know what? You're trusting me enough to do this. You know what? I'm gonna do it. You know, as far as playing keys and you know, helping get the tracks together and everything for the band. So, but yeah, LA is amazing for sure.
Extraordinaire producer.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Producer extraordinaire.
Yes, but I wanted to remember the wrong way he said it too, because I thought it was fire.
Oh, he said the wrong way. Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
That's what he said at first, and he's like, wait, no. So
switch it up.
Yeah. Every time I'd come to his show, it would be like, we got producer extraordinaire. Yeah, exactly. Smith is crazy.
Because we have both me and David
right.
Feely in the band. It'd be like Feely, Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into it. So tell everyone about Big Homie. List off the, I was going to say characters. List off the the people in the band.
Yeah,
tell us who you got.
It's me on keys, of course, and then we have Jovan on sax. Super amazing. It's crazy. He's always I first met him.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, tell us
Let
stories.
me talk about the band that never was.
Oh my god.
It was called +7. It was me. There's a whole lot of people. It was me. Keenan Friday. He started the band. It was
Okay.
me, him, Jalen, Seth. So it was all the guys that was in that core group with Darnell.
Okay.
And then
oh wow. Okay.
and then horns we had Micah Jones, Jovan, and Dawson. Yeah.
okay.
And then we had this other guy named Obi on guitars. So a whole bunch of us.
Yeah.
Right. And we would meet up at Jazz Central like every week, and we just put together all these songs, and it was like right band, wrong time, because we made some of the most dope music ever, but we just never really got to perform it anywhere because it was like 2021. Like there's not really anybody doing live performances or anything, so just phased out. Everybody got really busy, but yeah, that's where I first met Javon. I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy is insane, right?
Yeah.
And to see that he's still getting better and like improving, becoming a lot more seasoned as a sax player, it's just amazing to watch his growth over time. And then and then David Feely on guitar. I remember like whenever I would see him sit in with like LA, I was like, oh man, like it's serious. David Feely is here.
Oh my God.
Sitting in with everybody. So it's cool to just be in a band with him as well, and just being able to pick his brain. He picks my brain about a whole bunch of stuff. It's really
I
great.
would imagine.
Yeah. He's a talker, but I love it. I love it when people talk, because then I don't have to. I could just sit back. Yeah. And then Ethan on bass.
Yeshaya.
Ethan Yeshaya. Yep. I met him at church at some point, and
okay.
I was like, oh man, this guy's really good, and he just keeps getting better and better. Like even in Big Homie, it's just like, man.
Wow.
Yeah, he's always amazed me with his bass playing. And of course, Jamani,
Yes.
LA's cousin, on percussion. He's always killing it. I remember seeing him when we did. No, I wasn't in the show. It was just like LA was doing his Ice House residency.
Oh, okay.
Like back in, was that 2023?
Oh yeah, I think so.
If
If that's
at
that
the
one,
top of 2023, and or was it 22?
I think it was 22 because I don't think I was
Yeah, it was
there.
22.
Oh,
Yeah, it was 22. 'Cause
yeah.
I was in the band by the time
Right.
23 started. Yeah, it was the top of 2022, and I was just there as a supporter. Yeah. And then
Little did you know.
right, yeah, and Jamani was there playing percussion. I'm like, oh man, it's serious. We got
Not
percussion going.
it's
and
serious.
everything. Yeah, so I think that's everybody. Yeah, because we already talked about LA, and then yeah. But yeah, it's really a joy to be around those guys. Like it's fun just rehearsing with them, being around everybody. Like it's great when you can just be in a band with people that are just good people.
Yeah.
Like because we all get along really well.
How'd you guys? Okay, so like, how did Big Homie get together then? I suppose.
Well, that was started by LA in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, it was LA. Ethan was in it originally. I can't remember all the other original members.
Okay.
But he started in like 2019, I think.
So wait,
Yeah.
and then his first album dropped.
Yeah, that was
And
in
then
2020.
It was great on iTunes. I heard
Yep.
about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And here you guys are. And so, do you guys have separate Spotify's, like Big Homie in LA? I know he has like a separate one.
Yeah. Because he released that first album as Big Homie as the album,
Okay.
but now it's like LA Buckner and Big Homie.
Exactly,
And it's
yeah.
like a different thing. I don't know. It's however you wanted to release it, but yeah, it works out.
Yeah. And you're coming up with a new band.
I am.
How do you say it? 0308.
0308.
Oh, with 0308. Okay, because I was like, it could
0308,
go either way.
Yeah, so that band is me, Jalen, Danny Latu, Colin Johnson, and Jovan.
Really? He's
yeah,
in
yeah.
another band. How many bands are you in?
Just those two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As far as like committed member,
Exactly. Okay.
just those two.
So yeah.
But yeah, 0308 is something I got inspired after going to Vinny's residency at the
Really?
band room. Yeah, I was just like seeing all the different bands. And I was like, yeah, this is really cool. We got some talent here.
Wow.
And I was like, man, I want to be a part of this. So I was just like, I should just start my own band.
There you go.
Have my own thing going and perform some of the music I just have sitting on my laptop with musicians that I know can execute it.
Wow.
But going back to
Yeah.
Colin earlier, he's out of everybody in the music scene, he's the one that's known me the longest.
Really?
Because we met at the same school.
Did you go to North
elementary
Side?
school.
No, elementary school. Sorry.
Elementary school, yeah. Even further back.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we go back the
Wow.
furthest out of, like, besides anybody I know from my home church. Like, I've known him longer than anybody else because, like I said, we went to the same elementary school. We used to go over to each other's houses. And yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
cute.
we lived like 3 minutes away from each other.
Even now?
Yeah. So it's like,
Oh.
it's great to, have a relationship that's lasted that long, a friendship. And
so
so like it's really cool that we still get to, hang out, play music together in different bands. So I think the kid versions of ourselves. You know what? Actually, I have a clip.
You have a
I have
clip?
yeah, from when we were performing at a talent show.
When you were kids?
Yeah, when we were kids.
Babies?
Oh yeah, dang near. I saved it in my favorites in Woodbury. Here's my brother. So this video, this band we came up with for this talent show is called the Destroyers. So my brother, my brother was singing. I was playing this little electric drums that they had, and Colin was playing the guitar, of course.
Yes,
But
yes.
This is the video here. It's recorded on my mom's phone.
What'd you say you were playing?
Y'all hear that guitar lick he did at the end? He was like,
No, you tried to
he was like 11, 10, whatever he was at the time. He was, yeah,
Sounds
he's
pretty
been he's been cold at guitar. But yeah, I was playing the drums in
Okay.
the background there.
Okay.
But yeah, so we go way back. But I'm really excited for this new band to just be able to play, just like my own music.
Yeah.
So I'm working on getting some shows booked. It's something I've never done before. So
Oh, snap.
it's a new territory
Yeah.
for me. So I'm gonna need everybody's help because I have no clue what I'm doing.
Gather round.
Exactly. Please help. But yeah, I'm looking to open for some people and just get some shows going. Maybe do some festivals in the summer for sure.
Oh, what kind of... Did you already say what kind of music it was?
Oh yeah, it's like imagine I feel like everybody says, "Oh, I'm a new version of the Minneapolis sound," but like this is a new version of the Minneapolis sound for real.
Oh my God, I'm totally gonna do a zoom in.
Yeah, yeah. But this
funny.
This is like for real, like a new
for
new
real.
version where
Yeah.
it's still like you hear it in the
I hear it.
music.
There's a
Like,
clip.
Exactly. You're gonna hear it like in the music, and it'll give you like a sense of like nostalgia, but also like newness, where you're like, okay, this feels new, but it reminds you of those that came before us, and I feel like it's important to pay homage to those that came out of here while also doing your own thing.
Absolutely.
And so I think this is going to be something that people will remember for a long time. And yeah, I'm excited. Really excited to have my own band. Because I never
Yeah.
thought I would even start a band either. But here we are.
I think it's really cool. Yeah. Because when I was looking at the page, I'm like, yeah, I guess he doesn't have his own band, you
Yeah.
know?
Nope.
And so yeah, I can help you with booking and stuff. I've done that before. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Yeah, I have like spreadsheets and stuff that I keep of like venues.
That's
and stuff.
genius.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I started that in 2022 with when my mom moved out here. She became my manager or whatever.
Yeah. Mom manager.
Thank you. Yeah, people were really nice about it. I thought they were gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, your mom is your manager." You know what I mean? So weird. I love adulthood sometimes.
Yeah.
People are very accepting, and yeah. But yeah, so do you have like venues that you've played that you like?
So what I'm
That's
thinking
a-
is you
that's a good-
start
that's a
there.
Good question.
But like, thank you. Go ahead, answer it. It's fun. Yeah.
I think playing First Avenue main stage is always a really fun experience. I got to play there like 3 times in the span of 6 months, maybe less.
Wow. Yeah, you can actually, I think you can say who you've played there with. Some venues do this. I think First Avenue does this too. You can say who you've played with. They'll see how many people came, and you'll probably be able to play it. So.
Oh yeah, like I definitely want to do 7th Street with my
That's
band.
really fun,
that would be really fun. But yeah, like I did. The first time was with Big Homie for Radio K's 30th anniversary thing, and then the second time was with Big Homie again for the Best New Bands show.
Oh yeah.
And was that this year? That was this year, yeah. And then the third time was for Javante Patton's live recording concert at First Ave in February. Yeah, in February. That was really cool too. That was awesome. But yeah, so it was cool being able to play that stage a lot of times.
Yeah.
So it's really an honor to be able to play on that stage. I don't take it lightly because I know there's not a lot of people that always get to have that chance, even if they're from here. So like I don't take that for granted to be able to play on, the Purple Rain stage.
Purple Rain. I'm like, I don't want to get copywritten stricken, but I just had to do that.
Mute it.
You went on tour in London.
Yes.
You played the O2 Arena?
O2 Arena.
Tell us more about your tour.
So, let me give you the whole story.
Yeah.
Right. So, back in when was okay, I won't go that far.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I'll go back to this spring.
Okay.
This guy named Niall, super dope, arranger, producer.
Oh.
Yeah, he hits me up. He's like, "Hey man, I got this opportunity for you. This guy reached out to me about doing some arrangements for this set for this artist that's from India or something. You mind if I connect you with him?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. Why not? It'd be cool." And then connects me with the MD. The music director, for people who don't know what that means.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, connects me with the MD, Sean Samuels from Toronto, and we'd actually worked together 3 years ago in 2021 on another artist project. So I was like, we've already worked together. This is gonna be great, right? So yeah, he's like, all right, cool. I'm working with this artist. His name is Karan Aujla. He's a Punjabi artist. He makes Punjabi music. And I was like, all right, cool. This seems like fun. So then, I was just making a bunch of arrangements for the show. I ended up, there was a couple other people that did arrangements, but I think I did the most overall. So I didn't, I just did a couple arrangements for the show. They were like, hey, we really love these. Great. And I was like, all right, perfect. Awesome. And then I didn't really think much of it. And I was like, all right, cool. These are going to be dope. They're going to, go on tour with it. Sweet. Awesome. July comes around. I'm in Toronto for my friend Dylan's wedding. He's another really, really great friend of mine. He's also a part of the same church organization that I'm a part of, except he's a part of the Toronto part of it. And we'll play at the national conventions together. He's also a part of the reason why I'm connected to a bunch of people in Toronto. I was going to ask, because I just, how do you know this many people? Exactly, yeah. So he's a part of the reason why I just know a bunch of musicians in Toronto. He's just, just told everyone, oh yeah, you gotta follow this guy, David Smith, man. He's super
big
cool.
Shout out. Wow.
Yeah, so shout out to Dylan. And also Anthony Wisdom as well. He's a super dope bass player from Toronto that I've done a lot of live arrangement work with as well. Okay. Yeah, they've done. They're basically my PR team for Toronto. Oh yeah. Right. So, that's awesome. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm in Toronto for Dylan's wedding, and I hit up the music director. I'm like, hey man, all the Uber drivers are playing the artist's music. It's really cool, because he's really popular worldwide. He has a whole bunch of music. Of course, there's a lot of Punjabi and Indian people in Toronto, in the Toronto area, or in the GTA, the Greater Toronto area, as they call it. In certain areas.
Not to be confused with a video game.
Right. Yeah, the Greater Toronto area. Whatever. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, he's really popular. They all play his music. So we were thinking about bringing you on for the UK run of the tour. And I was like, whoa. 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 I was like, that's crazy.
That's
I was
amazing.
Like, okay,
Wow.
Yeah. Sure. It's like, yeah, I think I was like, yeah, let me look at my schedule. You know, all I see is the Selby Avenue Jazz Fest.
Oh, I see.
They could grab us up for that, and I could go on this tour.
Coffee was
You know?
there. Okay.
So that's why Coffee was there for that one. And so, yeah, she's like, all right, cool. You know, we'll get you some more details later. And I was like, all right, bet. And so, yeah, I was there with my girl. I was like, yo,
Braylon.
Yeah, Braylon. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, look at this. I'm about to go on tour. Blah, blah, blah. We're all like super happy and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, throughout the next couple months, I'm just you know like reaching out, you know, just to see if there's any updates and whatnot.
Yeah.
Then about a week before I get the official call, he either texted me or called me. He's like, oh hey, you know, meeting with the team this week, you know, to see how we're gonna make everything work. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then about 2 weeks before my flight left for London is when I got the official, all right, you're in. Here's the visa information. Here's all this stuff you need to know. Flight info's in here, all that. Here's an MP3 of the entire show. Here's all the songs separate with like all the cues and everything. And I was like, oh man, what did I just get myself into?
Musicality Mondays, Litty Mondays, Litty Mondays. With Jazicality Mondays, Litty Mondays, Litty Mondays.